All right, this is what I have to say before we even do the intro, because Taylor Swift got me in my feelings. Do not touch the cookout music. Just leave it. Just let us have our cookout songs.
The BCC.
The BCC, the Black Soul cookout songs.
Yeah,
let those be. The Black wedding songs. Like, just don't touch them.
Oh man.
She definitely heard that song for the first time.
And got inspired.
And she was like, "Oh, what's this jam? let me remix this. Make my own rendition." Nah, B, just let it go.
Yeah,
Just let it be great.
This is gonna be a great show today. I'm just letting y'all know now. For those that don't know, I'm Brandon Killabh.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
You listen to I can't even speak, by the way, too. I'm a little delirious, but it's Grassroots Podcast.
You started with bar click click.
But wait, click click click. My brain is fried, man. How we feeling right now about this girl, man? Like, let's get into it. I know we weren't starting here, but we have to start here. Taylor Swift. She remixed September, man. Classic Earth, Wind, and Fire record.
Classic.
I don't know, man. Like, what can we compare this to right now? Like, what are the do's and don'ts of touching classic records like that? Like, what should be happening here?
First of all, what's happening is Taylor Swift put raisins in the potato salad. You don't do that. She literally took the chopped cheese and called it a Philly steak.
She made the Kool-Aid and forgot the sugar.
She said orange is her favorite Kool-Aid flavor.
She put white sugar on honey ham.
She put broccoli in mac and cheese.
She let the tip of her Air Force Ones crease. Yo,
she's the kind of person she don't got a hot sauce in her backpack. She got mayonnaise. Just had to explain this situation in the most metaphorical way.
So for those that don't know, Taylor Swift touched a classic Earth, Wind, and Fire record, September. It's horrible. Even the people on E! News, wherever they were reporting, they were trying to be nice about it. And we're like, yeah, I mean.
She had a visual.
Yeah, we wish she had visuals and things like that. But,
no.
Just thought it'd be better. But not going to be better than the classic.
No.
Newsflash. It's never going to be better than the classic rendition.
This is basically like, She literally gentrified this song.
Yeah, how do you gentrify a song?
She literally gentrified this song.
Let us just have this. God damn it.
And what annoys me is, like, we are in a time period where people, I don't know if it's it's on a verge of like an addiction. Like, people just feel the need to remix and remake classics.
Man.
You don't have to. Just let some of them be. And the reason why it's such a great song, because it's gonna last time. It's gonna last for a long time. Like, every black person is gonna be playing September at a family cookout, at a wedding, at a barbecue, at a fucking
a child's christening,
child's birthday party. Like, that's just, it's kind of like how Suavemente is for Puerto Ricans.
Definitely.
Like, that's a song that's just a classic. Just let it be.
Yeah, certain records should just never be touched. We've touched on this before. It's just certain records, man. Like, it just from an artist perspective, it doesn't help you when you touch certain records. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those cardinal rules. It's like an unspoken rule of just having a creative respect for the artist that actually created the record. You're just not supposed to touch it. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I normally, you know, we like to have fun and have our conspiracy theories on shit like this. I don't even know what she was thinking. Yeah, like, I'm just confused. For those that haven't heard it, I'm sure you'll see it in this episode. But
I'm telling you, she heard that song for the first time in her life.
Yeah,
and then was like, "Yo, what is this?
Let
me make a song to it." My thing too is like, is she trying to appeal to the black demographic? Like, what is this her way of appealing to us without doing what like Miley Cyrus did?
She's made attempts over the years though to try to connect with urban America. You know what I'm saying? With like who did she do a record with before, and everyone was just like
Snoop.
It's just odd little things that she continuously keeps doing, and it kind of makes me think that Kanye was right back in the day, where it was like, yo fam, you asked me to mention you in the record, you thought it would be dope that I did it, and then once it happens, you're outraged and you're turning what was supposed to be, you know, such a great moment for both of us against me, just to, I guess, get clout or to try to be relevant. I just don't understand the marketing or just anything behind all of this shit. Like, it just don't make sense.
Honestly, the thing is like, no matter how certain artists want to separate their brands from Black culture, they're always gonna have to dip their toe in. They're always gonna find a way to dip their toe in, because Black culture and music that have Black artists and rappers, that's what's trending. It's kind of like what we talked about. Black culture is the culture right now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's trending. It's what's clickbait. Yeah. It leads everything. So even if you try to remove yourself from it or keep yourself, you're going to always find yourself back at it again. Yeah. I think this is probably just the attempt where they're like trying to tap into that. But like I said, not trying to do what like a Miley Cyrus has done, or even like a Katy Perry, where it's just like, it was too extreme, like, yo.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's extreme at this point. It's certain things that, you know, you obviously want to try to do to get clickbait, especially in this day and age, or you're trying to gain some sort of momentum for your music or build awareness. That's fine. But it's certain times where you start to do shit like this, where it's like, all right, fam, you got to get hit with the fam. Like, fam, what's this, man? Like, what are we doing? Her team really needs to reevaluate what they want her trajectory to be and how they want to get there, because this ain't it.
And let's help her out. Let's name a few people that like she should just not touch. Don't touch Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Don't touch Whitney Houston.
Don't touch The Temptations.
Don't touch Anita Baker.
Do not touch Marvin Gaye.
Damn sure do not touch Shaka Khan. You better not touch Shaka.
No.
Better not.
Snaps all around.
You better not. God damn it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a few that's just
legacy
like,
acts. You just know.
You just don't touch it, because the reason why those songs are so great, it's not just because of the writing. It's because of their vocals, the emotions that they put in, the feelings that they exhume. Yeah. They're just who they are. Help make that song great. Sorry, Taylor. Yeah, you don't have those same qualities as them. You have something different. I'm not going to knock you, because you obviously are doing something right, but you just don't have what they have, so it's not going to come out the same way. Like, artists got to understand, the music industry back then, it was different.
Yeah.
You had to have pure talent.
Yeah, there was no auto-tune. There was
no auto-tune.
None of that shit existed. You obviously were mixing and mastering records, of course, but not where they're just changing your vocals, you know, totally. So you had to have some real skill when it came to singing records and being able to perform these records live. Yep. So when you're going and trying to remake records or trying to emulate these artists, you better be very, very careful, because you'll end up in this situation now, like Taylor, where you go and try to take such a big, massive record and it winds up working against you. Yeah. Where you probably came up with this whole big marketing campaign on how we're going to, you know, relaunch in September. Yeah. and then you fell short.
Now, question. even though like, this is Whitney Houston, I know she's great, but we're not going to focus on that part. Why do you think that there was acceptance of when Whitney Houston took Dolly Parton's song and made a rendition of it versus Taylor Swift taking Earth, Wind, and Fire's? Like, obviously, like, Whitney Houston is an icon, but my thing is like, What do you think is the difference? Is because of how Whitney handled that song versus how Taylor handled that song?
It's a way you handle it. It's a way you handle a record. Just, you know what I mean? I think the partly the torch was passed from Dolly to Whitney when it comes from just, you know, taking that record and Whitney taking it to the next level and doing what she did with the record. But there's a way to handle it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to approach the record that, you know, if you're going to even and that's the struggle with artists, is that, you know, you want to be artistic and you want to try to put your own spin on it, but certain records like September and shit like that, you shouldn't. If you're gonna emulate the record and you want to pay homage, keep it the way it's supposed to be. Don't try to go put in a fucking you know, a spin on a record that people that connect with that record would never appreciate, and probably any one of the people. I wonder how any of the members, living members of Earth, Wind & Fire, I wonder how they feel about that. You know what I mean?
I also personally think the reason why Whitney Houston did really well with that Dolly Parton song is because she understood the emotions behind it. She understood the feelings behind it. She understood like what went behind it. I don't think Taylor Swift understands like everything that went behind September. It's just I just don't think that's. I think that's where the disconnect comes. Also, I don't know. I always feel a little. Feel a little weird when people try to. I'm gonna make this word up, but countrify. Like certain songs, like certain records. It makes me feel like I'm like, and it kind of is like it's kind of like back in the day where you had the, you know, certain artists that took black artist songs and then made it their own and then tried to make it seem like it was their own song when they actually just took it from someone else. And that was back like like a little bit before and even during Motown, during that period of time. I mean, even some people were saying that about Elvis.
But that was a beef, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, when that was real beef back in the day, you know what I'm saying? When you had like a group, let's say like the Five Heartbeats or somebody, Temptations, and we went to a circuit and you heard our sound, we heard your sound, that was an issue, you know what I'm saying? So coming now this time around, it's a little different. But this and we talked about just a way of doing things, right? You know who did a great job of remaking the record? Faith, Puff, and Missing You record with Sting. I thought they did a great job of still, you know, obviously getting across what they wanted to with Missing Big and the concept of the record, but the whole aesthetics of how the record is performed, I think that's how it should be done. You know what I mean? When you're trying to pay homage, and I read where that's what her goal was here, was to try to pay homage and all that shit. But
intentions.
To your point, don't try to countrify.
You gotta have good intentions behind it, the right intentions. But that's why it's just like that's why anytime anyone remakes or even touches a classic, I'm always like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just bad business.
Like, I can't lie, I was kind of like, when it even came to freaking Jumanji, I was like, ooh, I don't know. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
So I saw the movie. I boycotted it because, again, I'm a kid growing up watching fucking the original Jumanji and Robin Williams and how that happened. I was just like, nah, y'all being disrespectful to hip hop. I saw it and I was like, oh, they did a good job.
Well, also, they moved the narrative away from the original narrative. So then, if they kept it in the same narrative, I'd be like, yo, y'all are being straight disrespectful right now. Like, we don't even have Robin Williams, and you're just doing that. But I think them pushing away and just having it be like a whole new concept. Of course, like, they still had the board game. So it's like, so then they're like, I still don't know how the fuck, like, the board game opened up and there's a video game in there. Like, okay.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing.
That's my little, like, okay, so that's how you guys did it. But aside from that, like, I think it's because they moved away from it. Now, if, for example, maybe if Taylor Swift, like, you know how sometimes artists will utilize lyrics from other songs and implement into their songs, but then they'll, like, switch it up a bit?
Yeah.
If she did that, okay, maybe... it may be not as terrible, but when you're doing a whole song,
let me stop you there. She should never touch this record. Period. She just shouldn't. I'm not giving no passes. I don't care what any of you guys say. She should never touch this record.
No raisins in the potato salad.
And she's about to have a even worse week, considering we're segueing to Cardi moving her right out the top spot and streaming with Apple, and now her being the third streamed record. So shout out to Cardi, still just doing some amazing shit.
You know what? That could be why she did this song.
Try to get back on top?
No, just to see the, I mean, we call it the buying power, but even we can say the streaming power of the urban community. The urban community's buying power and now we can go streaming power is very big. It's like the buying power of Black people is in the trillions.
Okay.
So we saw that power come into play and the influence of that with Cardi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could say pretty much everyone was behind Cardi.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it real. Almost everyone was behind Cardi. So maybe Taylor Swift saw that, was like, maybe if I can tap into that.
So
maybe
she had the epiphany.
She's like, oh, wait a second.
Let me go and take the popular record and countrify it.
Yeah, and maybe if they like it, they'll push me and I'll get a little bit of that streaming power.
How about no, Scott? That was not a good idea. No, it wasn't. So,
even though, I mean, she has high streams, but I'm just thinking of why she might have done that. But I think maybe it could have been because of Cardi, honestly.
It could be, but I mean, at this
point, indirect way.
Cardi is red hot.
Yes, fire.
I wouldn't be really playing with Cardi in this climate right now. She has the wave. She has everything that's happening right now. She's smoking. It's not smart to go and try to, compete or try to even go match against her, because right now she is the fan favorite. She can do no wrong, especially now, again, we talked about off air, we were talking about the baby. Having a baby now elevates her as well. You know what I mean? Like her numbers, everything will now, pretty much be on the incline.
And it's also kind of hard for her to do any wrong, because if you think about it, even when there are certain things that she said that people got upset with her, like, she doesn't fake the funk. She is who she is. She's going to say something wrong, but they know she's authentic about it. They know that she's not like I'll keep it real. Like Sabrina Claudio with her apology letter, like, I'm sorry, that was a little bit of BS. Like, you're apologizing because you got caught, not because of what you said. Like, let's keep it real.
Listen.
And it had grammatical errors. That was horrible. She spelled overwhelmed wrong.
Oh my God.
If you're gonna put an apology, you gotta make sure you spell stuff right.
For someone that is a huge Sabrina Claudio fan.
Same here. But we gotta correct her. We gotta check her.
I was a little hurt.
Gotta check her.
I was a little hurt, man. It was a letdown. Just when when we talked about her, I think I can't remember what episode
it's
it was.
when we said who's gonna pop off this year. We said Cardi. We said her. We said Georgia Smith.
Georgia Smith, yeah, and she was one of our picks that we thought would kind of go to the next level, which she started to do, and then of course the internet will keep you honest. And in the blink of an eye, they will. And, of course, they went and dug up and found some tweets, and then found some more tweets that just weren't really becoming.
But you know what's crazy, though? It's crazy because it's just like she's been doing that. It's not like it was like 10 years ago or 8 years. I mean, obviously not 10 years ago because it wasn't that long, but like a long time ago. And she was just like, I was young, I was stupid, that's that. Like, you should have just came out the rip and said, I said some stupid shit before.
And that's my thing.
Not wait till you get caught.
And that's my thing. And I understood what she was saying, because it's like one of those things, you never know how to handle it until it happens, and when you're in the moment. So I totally get all of that.
What are you talking about? Just don't say that stuff.
Well, no. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Just don't say it.
What I'm saying is, after you said things,
and
then it comes to light, you forget. You know what I mean? Twitter is one of those things where you're on a forum and you're just going. You're going in the moment. There's a lot of times people go and talk about breakups, go and talk about artists, go and talk about sexuality, go and talk about just anything, a sneaker, anything. I'm sure she forgot that shit even existed. I'm sure her team wasn't aware that it existed, even though I put some of the blame on them.
Yep,
they
I do
definitely
too.
should have fucking done a little bit more research, but whatever. My thing is, you gotta own it. You gotta own it and say, I fucked up. I made a mistake, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't go on this whole, hiatus, and you're not there yet to even be making them type of moves, and it just wasn't smart.
And to be honest, also don't write like a novel apologizing.
Yeah.
Keep it very straightforward. I fucked up. This was wrong for me to do. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do better.
Well, this is the thing I think about too. When you wait, I feel like it makes it worse. Number one. Number two, I don't know that there's really any right way to go about doing it outside of saying, I apologize, but most people ain't gonna take that apology. You know what I mean? Like, you got to show an action. And I did like that in her letter. She said, let me show you that I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Do I really think that she made an account just to bash black women or just women in general? No. Do I think that?
Because you see her shaking her head. She's like, oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know her. I'm just, reading this shit like everybody else.
I mean, she didn't deny it.
She did. Guys? No, she did deny it. In the letter, she says,
denied?
Yeah, she says, I would like for you guys to believe that I did not, intentionally make an account just to do that. My music is, if nothing else, to empower women and to empower unity like that. So
wait a second. Let's just go back to that. She didn't intentionally make her social media account to do that. Yeah. So if it wasn't for that, then what was your intentions to be saying that stuff to begin with?
Well, that's my thing.
Sounds
intent and what it is are two different things. That's where it gets a little sticky. It's disappointing. It really is, for me at least.
I was disappointed. I also think I don't know. I feel like with those things, like you said, don't wait forever. Just get your apology. Once they find out, get your apology, say it. Because then people are going to feel some type of way. Like if you get caught and it takes time, they're like, oh, you're just saying because you got caught. And my thing with that too is like with her, that's even worse because like your music appeals to the black demographic. Yeah. Your music appeals to the minority demographic, and you're saying these things. It's weird because it's like you're bashing the fans that help get you to where you are. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I hope she learns from this and gets better. I really do. I mean, I'm not a fan of what happened, but also this needs to be another reason why labels need to develop a team with the sole purpose of combing their artists' social media before they, not even that, they need to go through the internet. Everything is archived. Go through every fucking thing. Find out what this person did and make sure you take down as many things as possible.
Definitely.
That should be their job because so many artists are fucking up because of social media. You need to have someone this is the thing. If freaking Facebook can have a team that's looking for shit that's like terrorists and stuff like that, labels can damn well pay for someone to do the same thing and comb through. You can comb through someone's Twitter. You can comb through certain things. That should be their job.
Well, that's why I said part of this blame, I think it's a 50-50. It's got to go to her team. Mm-hmm. You got to put blame on that. Especially if she is managing her own Twitter. Clearly, she is in her social media. There should be someone that should be watching her. There's plenty of times where I've reached out to my friends that, and they said, fam, you need to take that down. That looks crazy. You need someone in your corner to do that. Yeah. You need someone to be able to check you when you're tripping. Yep. And I don't think that anyone knew that she was doing it or was aware. And even if they did, then shame on them because that's you got to look at your crew. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just certain things that should never happen when you're an artist. And even if it does happen, you better address it, from the rip. You shouldn't let time go by, and then you shouldn't give a an explanation as to why the time went by, just to address the main issue.
Yeah, just get straight to your apology.
Get to the shit.
Don't send a novel.
You apologize. You want to make it up. You want to show the world and your fans that you're not that person, and then that's it. It shouldn't drag on and be where it's at now. It just doesn't make sense.
Facts. But on a better note, Cardi B shattered Taylor Swift's streaming record.
Got her out.
Put the claps in.
I wonder what else. I can't wait to see this week's coming numbers. I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Wasn't first week like 105,000?
No, it was like 250 something. 250? She did some
numbers.
What
was the? I definitely sent it in a group chat. Yeah, guys, we're going straight on our phone. We be sending each other stuff like this.
All types of shit. So Cardi Invasion of Privacy did 254,000. Okay. 105 copies sold.
So sold. Yeah.
Serious numbers.
105,000. That's still solid ass numbers.
Solid ass fucking numbers. So I'm curious, especially now with the announcement of the baby. I wonder how much higher that shit's gonna go. It should be pretty good for her.
Damn.
So I guess now we'll segue into just people doing things a certain way. Recent interview with Nicki Minaj on Beats One.
And two singles.
First, let's talk about the singles.
Okay.
How are we feeling? So one is
Chung-Li.
And
then
the
Barbie Tings.
Barbie Tings. I feel like Drake and all of them, they have the Tings, that, Tings thing. I don't know what that is, but whatever. What do we think? I have a theory.
Throw your theory out. Let's go.
Theory.
Let's go. We should have like a theory time. We gotta have some drop with that.
Yeah, we have a theory segment. We need to start doing that because we do a lot of theories.
Yeah, people like our theories too.
Yeah, our theories are really good.
They're pretty solid. Pat on the back.
Right. You're great. So here's my theory.
Yeah.
I think Nicki clearly knew, and like the world knew, that Cardi was going to be putting out an album. I think she held her records in the tuck. I think once she heard Cardi's album, I think it gave her a little bit of confidence. I think she felt and listened to that album like, okay, I can compete. I don't have to really have that much of a worry. I think after that, she put these records out thinking, okay, I'm going to slide right on in here, which she did. I just don't think that she factored in that right now, Cardi is the person that people came to see. Mind you, these Nicki records are not bad records. She's rapping. She's rapping on these records. But I think, like with everything, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. So to put the record out and then while we're all still riding this Cardi wave, I don't know that this helps her. I think, and I know she's trying to talk about the narrative of her being painted as the bad guy and all of this. I don't think that helps to spin that narrative into a positive light. I don't think she factored that in, and I don't think that she factored in putting out these records that are good records. I don't think that they'll do what they're supposed to do because we're in the Cardi climate.
All right, here are my thoughts. Kind of adding on to yours. It's also, I have a part question that goes with it too. So what is the difference then between her dropping it around? I mean, obviously we know they have past history, but in terms of being competitive, why is it that if she drops it, then it fits she is being the bad person, versus Drake dropping it on purpose around the time that Cardi also dropped too? And how come? But my thing is, like, if it's competitive, why is it that Nicki is deemed the evil person, the bad guy, when this is what in hip hop you should be doing? You should be trying to compete. That's
a great question. But when you're competing, you want to compete and be strategic and smart about it. You know what I mean? It's like going to war and not planning a strategic approach to approaching a castle. You're not going to go head on when you know that you don't know what's behind that door. You want to be smart and strategic about doing something. So going and spearheading this, what I'll call an assault on Cardi's momentum is not smart, just because you don't know the outcome. You haven't factored in the variables that could ultimately impact you.
Yeah.
I just don't think that this was a well thought out plan in that regard. I think that she, has some sort of, feelings about, just the whole how everything went. Yes, of course, and she expressed that in her Beats One interview. But in the same token, I just think she should have waited. Nicki is a big enough artist and has a big enough following to just chill.
Well,
she's worked hard enough to just kick her feet up. She would have built more momentum by just being quiet. Because everyone was asking, if you notice, when Cardi dropped the album, everyone kept saying, "Damn, wonder what Nicki's gonna do. What is she doing? What is she working on?" Then she tweeted something or something, and then it got taken down, and everyone went crazy. You're building more momentum just by being an enigma at that point. You're being mysterious. The mystique will always win because people want to hear from you. So if she would have just baked just a little bit longer, I think that these records would have hit the masses harder than what it's hitting now. And not to say that it can't change, but it just should have been a little bit more strategic.
I'm gonna keep it fairly, well, not fairly. I'm gonna keep it
funky?
real. I'm gonna keep it real. The labels are trying to keep this narrative going. I think the labels are trying to keep the narrative of Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj going.
Speak on it.
Because artists, even if you're a big artist, labels still have a say for when things drop
100%.
And when things don't drop. And I think that so this is what I think. I think that these were two songs that she probably wrote either before or around the time the initial Cardi B narrative was happening. And I think they kept those two in the tuck. And then once they found out that Cardi B was having a project drop, they were thinking, oh, let's drop this. It's kind of a win-win situation for us. If her album tanks, this makes you look better. If her album does really well, it still gives you a lot of attention because we help to establish this narrative of Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj.
Pawns, that is a great point. That is a great point.
I think the labels are continuing this narrative because if you think about it, it's still a win-win situation in the end because you have the Nicki. Does anyone know what Nicki Minaj fans are called? The Barbies?
Barbs, yeah.
Barbs? Okay. They're probably going to come after me if I don't get this right. But the Nicki Minaj fans, they're very, very loyal. Cardi B is starting to create fans like that. So it's damn, we create this narrative. They're going to keep going at each other. They're going to keep talking about it. They're going to keep pushing it. They're going to have us being interviewed. Media, no matter what, media is going to always interview Cardi and Nicki Minaj about each other. That's just the messed up shit. Because it's clickworthy, and that's why labels are continuing this narrative because it's bringing more attention and is going to help with the streaming, which gets more money in her pockets and their pockets.
But even with all of that, Nicki is bought into this too.
I'm not saying she didn't.
No. I'm
just saying they're continuing it.
Her doing this Beats One interview and rehashing the motorsport shit and talking about the tweets and the dramatical effect of the tears and the sniffling and all that shit, it's adding to that narrative of this unspoken beef.
That really, really hurt me because I really fully supported her. And up until this recent interview that she did, I had never seen her show me genuine love in an interview. And I could just imagine how many girls wish they could have been on a song with Nicki Minaj. And I mean, I'm not saying it in a cocky way, but yikes. I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm saying it the first thing out of your mouth when someone asks you about a Nicki Minaj feature is, she changed her version. Excuse me? It's because of the Nicki hate parade that she felt the comfortability to address me in that matter.
You know what I'm saying? That while Cardi is saying, media outlets and fans have created, but they're both doing it. You know what I'm saying? This, and not for nothing, I'm sure she's using it as a marketing tool as well to just promote. It still keeps me relevant in that wave. It still gives me clickbait of what's happening on her side, and I'm drawing that to my side. Same shit.
Honestly, Nicki Minaj needs to just be like, listen, on a personal tip, we cool. I don't have any issues with Cardi B on a personal tip. But when it comes to music, I'm trying to destroy her. Just keep it a buck. Like, it's competition. Hip-hop is supposed to be competition. I remember one time I interviewed Rhapsody, and Rhapsody straight up said, they pit women against each other. She's trying to be competitive. She's not trying to compete with women, too. She's trying to compete with men. Yeah. She's like, I'm trying to compete with the best men rappers, too, not just women. So, Nicki Minaj, girl, go ahead. If you want to say you're the best, then just say you're trying to compete musically. I think what the problem is sometimes with people, too, is for people that don't understand, and not saying they don't understand hip-hop in the sense of history, but they don't understand hip-hop in the sense of the competitiveness. Like if you're an athlete, that's playing at a very high level, collegiate, professional, you get it. It's a certain mentality. You're friends off the court, but you're not friends on the court. That's the same that should be applied to hip-hop. That shouldn't be misconstrued with saying that they have beef. In the sense of, I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me. Now, I'm not saying that they do or they don't. I don't know. We really don't know behind the scenes what's going on. But what I'm saying is, like, just because it's two women that are artists, you can compete and want to outdo the other. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be beef. Hip-hop's supposed to be competitive. The same way that, fucking, I don't know, like, if you played with your homeboy on the court, or if you play with your homegirl on the court, you're just gonna let her win? Absolutely not. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm dunking on you. I'm breaking your ankles. I'm about to shoot a 3 on you. Like, I was bad when I played soccer. I used to tell my friends all the time, yo, off the field we're friends, but on the field I'm gonna embarrass you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
definitely.
I don't care. I don't even care if we're winning 4-5. I'm gonna score that extra goal because I'm trying to not just win. I'm trying to win. There's a difference between win and win. So I just think that sometimes they misconstrue that, but I don't know. I just don't like that narrative when it comes to female artists. Like, yo, they can be competitive in hip hop just like these dudes in their music, and then just like be cool off the side or whatever it is.
Well, again, the other issue with the beef with them, quote unquote beef, is how it started. You know what I mean? That's the other thing. They both could have controlled the narrative. Not so much Cardi, because she's a novice, and we obviously have seen her interview
and even Instagram videos.
Yeah, we've seen certain things. Nicki should have done a better job of setting the tempo, as she is the vet here. She is the person that should be leading. Yeah, she's the person that should be guiding the ship. So,
and you know what? I don't understand why some of these really big artists don't take notes from Beyonce and Jay-Z. Once you get to a certain part of your career, you can control any narrative you want for yourself. Definitely. You can control anything. Like, you have the power. And that's why I like just Beyonce and Jay-Z, like, they're not just smart business-wise and good music. Even like the psychology of the shit that they do is so impressive. Like, you know what? We're not going to let TMZ talk about our issues. We're not going to allow other people to profit off of our problems. We're going to profit off of our own problems.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about it in our music. So then they're going to know, but I'd rather us make money from it than having someone profit and slander us and make our family look bad. Yeah. Fucking Nicki, you can do the same thing. And the thing is, she still has a chance to change the narrative.
She can.
It's not over.
But I think the reason why it may not change is because you're now dealing with ego and pride at this point. Ego and pride will make you do some
crazy things.
Yeah, it'll make you do some crazy shit. And right now, her ego is looking at her like, fam, you are out here getting murked. You are getting destroyed in these streets. You got to do something. That's what her ego is telling her. So for her, I'm putting out records. I'm doing interviews. I'm talking about all the stuff that y'all think y'all got right and don't got right. And now I'm gonna, represent myself with music. It's just, it may be a little too late.
Yeah. What if, it'd be really fucking smart. Probably would be so fucking dope and smart if out of all of this, Nicki and Cardi did a joint Cardi versus Barbie project or mixtape. You know how many people would actually listen to that?
What would really be smart though is if this whole entire time they were friends. That'd be the best marketing plan ever in a million years. That this whole thing, us even doing this podcast, every media entity had it all wrong, and they out there just chilling.
And who's to say that's not what they're doing? Yeah, they probably are doing that. We don't know. I would like to know one day.
I would like to know too. But I mean, speaking of beef, seems like Kanye's got beef. Kanye got some beef with Nike.
How, Sway? How?
Word. He got the answers. Apparently Nike's coming out with some sneakers that look a lot like his boosts, the wave runners. And he tweeted first time in like 2 years or some shit, Yeezy 700s or something like that he's showing the picture of the new Nike kicks that are releasing. I just love shit like this.
They deleted it.
And then he deleted it, but it's still petty and it's great. It's great.
I can't lie. I even though there was some times where certain things he said, I was like, huh? I love Kanye West's candidness. Yeah. Like my all-time favorite candid moment from Kanye West was George Bush does not like black people. Yeah. That was the best, most necessary, appropriate candidness during that time.
Mike Myers' face in that is priceless.
Who else's face was it? There's someone else. No, someone else after they panned to.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Oh my God, Chris Rock.
No, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker. Yeah. Sorry, Chris Tucker.
And he's like,
he's
like, did he just say this?
Okay, we're going. Like no one knew what to do.
Black man.
Yeah. But you can't. That's why you gotta love Kanye. Kanye is still very successful, obviously, and celebrated, but very still passionate about his brand and just what his vision is for his products, his music, everything. Yeah. So him looking at these Nike kicks and looking at it like, all right, hold on, fam, y'all ain't about to come out with the exact same sneaker, and looking at it from the side by side and just overall 360 view of the kicks. There's a lot of similarities. Yeah, like that's not there's a lot of similarities.
But it kind of
that's what happens.
It kind of goes back to like everything he's been saying before. I mean, like let's keep it real. Kanye is the misunderstood genius. Yeah, he is very much misunderstood, and he's kind of like how they try to. When Dave Chappelle was in the game, they try to paint him as crazy. They did the same thing to Kanye. Yeah. People try to paint him as crazy. He may articulate it in the best way, but what he says and what he's been saying about fashion and sneakers and the situation with Nike, he's right. He's right.
He's right.
He's right. It's showing.
The delivery may be a little skewed, but at the end of the end of the day, he knows fashion. He knows music, and he's huge trendsetter. He knows what's happening. So when shit like this happens, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by any means. He knows that, all right, you guys are trying to take a wave and it could be a shot in a sense. Let me go ahead and address this. So even if that's not your intentions, at least it could never be your intentions. Yeah. Meaning, if I put this out here now, and you guys are even thinking about doing this, now the entire world is looking, and they'll be looking too. So just in case you try to pull a fast one, they'll call it out before I even have to.
Yeah. Kanye, we gotta what's his streak for the last laugh? He definitely had the last laugh. Shout out to Kim Kardashian for that one. But yeah, the last laugh with Taylor Swift. Yeah. He may have the last laugh with this one too.
Had the last laugh with 50 when they were going head to head. Yeah, he's had a lot of.
He's had. But you know what's very good and unique with him is that he's not afraid of going up against Goliath
at all.
He's always, if you think about it, in so many scenarios, he's always been David. Yeah, he's always been David versus going up against Goliath. Like you have Nike. The fashion industry world, 50 Cent. There's so many narratives where he was always the one that people thought would fail, but he always came out victorious. Even with the Taylor Swift situation,
Well, yeah.
Even she was the Goliath. Everyone believed her. Everyone was like, yo, Kanye's acting fucking crazy. This is that and the third. But then when Kim posted that stuff, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
So this narrative all of a sudden changes in favor of Kanye.
I think it's great, but even that, I think it was used as a marketing tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kim has been sitting on those messages and all that stuff for quite some time. She let all of that build up. She let it all build up, yeah, just to slap the ace right on the desk. Like, fam, hey, that's it. This game.
Honestly,
game right
I
here.
think it was Kris Jenner. I think Kris Jenner told her.
Yeah, could be too. Could be too. I wouldn't be surprised.
That woman. Even though she kind of sold her children out, they're very smart. She's very smart and was strategic about everything.
Children. That sounds so crazy.
I mean, listen, could you imagine the conversation she had with Kim? She sat Kim down and was like, listen, I'm really fucking pissed off that you have your sex tape out there. But you know what? We're going to make some money off of this, boo-boo.
Yeah.
We're going to make some money off of this.
Yeah. We're
going to take this sex tape. You get smashed by Ray J. We're going to put it out, make profit off of it. And we're going to turn this narrative around.
We're going to make billions. Billions of dollars. Yeah, man, I ain't going to lie. They're smart. They're smart.
They are. I mean, and even Ray J's smart too.
Ray J's smart too.
He's low. For people, he's slept on.
Yeah, he's definitely
smart. I mean, he does crazy stuff, but he's smart.
He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Are we going to talk about our Orlando Brown not being smart?
Wait a second. Before we talk it, let's just play the clip right now. Let's just play the clip. Yo,
the clip in itself is wild. Like Orlando Brown. What is his deal? Like, do we think he has like mental issues or something? Like, what's wrong with him?
So, I have a thought. It's kind of a question and a thought together. So you know about those incidents where they talked about like how there were child pedophiles within like Nickelodeon and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that there could have been something going on there?
Something happened with him?
Yeah, because if you look at it, like there have been a lot of Disney stars that once they left Disney, like they just were wild. They were off. And I'm wondering if it's like, obviously it's a combo of like mental health for some. Like Demi said, it was mental health problems too. Like I think she has bipolar or something like that. And she was doing like cocaine and stuff. But they also were talking about like, I forget that one guy, but there's this one guy who was like he did a lot of Nickelodeon shows, and they were saying like he was allegedly like a child pedophile and did some shit. And I'm wondering if like did something happen to Orlando during his Disney spout, or
it's not too far fetched.
I mean, I always wonder that. I always wonder, like, anytime a Disney star or even Nickelodeon star goes crazy, I'm always like, okay, there has to be something. Like, there has to be something.
It makes you wonder what's going on in Hollywood. Like, you know, who said that? I think Dave Chappelle said that as well. There's something going on in Hollywood where a lot of these child stars turn crazy. Macaulay Culkin. You know, like just people like that were on the top of the world of the kid franchises, and then they go and just go batshit crazy. Something is off with him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Between his videos, between the bounty hunter video and all this, so it's crazy. Like there's just a lot happening with these people.
I don't mean to be laughing, but I remember that one video where it was like he stepped on like this. I forget what he was doing. I don't know, he was dancing or whatever. He stepped on like this brick footing, and it just broke. He just fell. I'm sorry, that was kind of funny.
He's been doing a lot of wild shit though.
Yeah. Man,
I don't know, man. And what was the? I know you know because I
he missed a court date for I think allegedly assaulting his girlfriend or fiance. I don't know which one it was. It's crazy because even like, and then he was staying at this person's place because it was a friend is a friend of a music producer that's friends with Orlando. They asked if he could stay there. And apparently they were like, oh, we knew something was wrong when his fiance came up to the house and said he was oh my gosh, I can't think right now. He's a fugitive. They were like, we knew something was wrong when she came and said he was a fugitive.
I know when that cop curses at him or the bounty hunter curses at him, he sits back like he's like, I'm appalled. I'm appalled.
Open the jaws.
Oh man, I don't know. I just want these people to get some damn help. Like this video is crazy. I mean, it's great just for, and it shouldn't even be comedic purposes for us, but at some point you got to dig deeper and just start to look at people like this and wonder what is happening in their lives that's making them just go bonkers and just it's unfortunate. I hope whatever happens. I mean, apparently, allegedly, he struck his girlfriend. So who knows what's happening with this whole thing? But
craziness, I tell you, craziness.
Shit is out of control. I don't know. That's a grim topic when you think about it. But the video is funny, so go check it out.
Yeah, let's just play that Orlando Bloom. Oh my God, I said Orlando Bloom. Orlando Brown. Let's just sorry, I said Orlando Bloom because I remember on TV today that apparently like Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry are engaged or something like that. I saw today.
Oh, right?
Something like that. Allegedly.
I don't really care.
Well, no, that's the reason why I said Orlando Bloom because I watched that earlier. I don't care about any of that stuff either. It came up on the news today after the Syria attack. I don't know why it transitioned to that, but that's what happened.
That's what it went to.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show.
Tackle the culture.
That's our show today. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Grassroots Pod for both, Grassroots Podcast for YouTube. Subscribe. We're going to be starting to do more exclusive content like vlogs and little fun stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Follow our SoundCloud, Audio Mac accounts, iTunes, all Grassroots Podcasts. You can find them. Join our group chat. We talk about what?
Well, no, I was going to say, also, let's make them aware we're not dropping a Thursday episode this week. We are dropping Friday.
Yes. We're dropping an episode for 420.
420 episode coming this Friday.
It's a guest episode, y'all.
It's a guest episode.
Listen, this shit's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's a really dope episode. So the whole team, shout out to everybody. We all trooped it and created some really, really good content.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I know everyone in the whole team, we all got in the house late and still was up working, so we're all excited about it. So we again dropping Friday 420, not this Thursday.
Yep.
Let us know your thoughts on everything.
And if you join our group chat, you'll be the first ones to know who is the guest on Wednesday morning.
This is true. GroupMe chat, that will be in the description of this episode on YouTube. So be sure to check it out because they always get all the exclusive content. They know everything before the masses know because we're in tune with them. So be sure to join that. That's it.
Yeah. It's too much shit happening. I'm exhausted just like looking at all the news. Like we couldn't even talk about like 4 other stories.
Yeah.
Because it just would take too much time.
It's too much. So
it's too much. Y'all gotta stop acting crazy out here.
On that note, I'm Brandon Killabh.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
And we out.
Grassroots.